off the picturesque coastline of the Pacific Northwest. A silent sentinel lurks beneath the waves, the Cascadia Subduction Zone. A 600-mile fault line stretching from Northern California to Vancouver Island holds the potential for an earthquake of unimaginable magnitude. This geological time bomb, capable of unleashing a megaquake exceeding 9.0 on the Richter scale, serves as a stark reminder of nature's raw power and the importance of human preparedness, the very ground we stand on, seemingly solid and unchanging, is in fact a dynamic tapestry of tectonic plates in constant motion. These plates, colossal slabs of Earth's crust, grind against each other, accumulating stress over centuries. The Cascadia Subduction Zone marks the point where the Juan de Fuca plate dives beneath the North American plate. A slow-motion collision building up immense pressure, like a tightly wound spring. This energy will eventually be released, unleashing a cataclysmic earthquake that will ripple across the region and beyond. The potential consequences of such an event are staggering. Coastal communities, nestled along the scenic shores of Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia, face the brunt of the impact. Tsunamis, towering walls of water generated by the earthquake's energy, would surge inland, inundating low-lying areas and reshaping the coastline. Buildings, bridges, and infrastructure would crumble under the relentless shaking, disrupting transportation, communication, and essential services. The year was 1700. Across the Pacific Ocean, in the villages dotting the coast of Japan, life went on as it had for generations. Fishermen cast their nets, farmers tended their fields, and merchants hawked their wares. But on a cold January evening, the sea turned restless, drawing back from the shore as if taking a deep breath. Then, with a deafening roar, a massive tsunami, a wave from out of the blue, crashed ashore, engulfing entire villages and leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. This event, known as the Genroku earthquake and tsunami, left an indelible mark on Japan's collective memory. Detailed accounts, passed down through generations, describe the sudden inundation and the destruction wrought by the relentless waves. What puzzled scientists for centuries, however, was the absence of any significant earthquake felt in Japan preceding the tsunami. The source of this orphan tsunami remained a mystery, a ghostly wave from across the ocean. Centuries later, the mystery began to unravel, piecing together clues scattered across time and continents. Scientists studying the geological record discovered evidence of massive earthquakes and tsunamis along the Pacific Northwest coast, events that coincided with the timing of the orphan tsunami in Japan. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, pointing to a connection between the two seemingly disparate events. The realization was both startling and sobering. The Cascadia Subduction Zone, long thought to be a relatively benign geological feature, was in fact capable of generating earthquakes and tsunamis of staggering proportions, events that could send their destructive power across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. The key to understanding the Cascadia Subduction Zone's potential lies in deciphering the language of the Earth itself. Geologists, like detectives poring over ancient scrolls, have developed ingenious methods to reconstruct past earthquakes and tsunamis, piecing together a history of seismic activity spanning centuries. Dendrochronology, the study of tree rings, provides a natural archive of past events. Trees growing near the coast, their roots submerged during high tides, record the sudden influx of salt water in their annual growth rings. By analyzing the rings of ancient trees, scientists can pinpoint the years when major earthquakes and tsunamis occurred, revealing a pattern of recurring events. Submarine paleoseismology, another tool in the geological detective's kit, involves studying sediment layers on the ocean floor. Earthquakes and tsunamis leave their mark on these layers, creating distinct patterns that can be dated and analyzed. By examining sediment cores extracted from the ocean floor, scientists can reconstruct a history of past seismic events, revealing the frequency and magnitude of earthquakes and tsunamis along the Cascadia Subduction Zone. The evidence is clear and compelling. The Cascadia Subduction Zone has experienced major earthquakes and tsunamis repeatedly throughout history, with an average recurrence interval of approximately 240 years. The last major earthquake occurred in 1700, over 300 years ago, indicating that the region is overdue for another major seismic event. Imagine for a moment the Earth's tectonic plates as colossal pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, constantly shifting and grinding against each other. At the Cascadia Subduction Zone, the Juan de Fuca plate, driven by relentless geological forces, dives beneath the North American plate. This slow-motion collision, occurring at a rate of a few centimeters per year, might seem insignificant on a human timescale. However, over centuries the accumulated stress becomes immense, like a tightly wound spring storing energy. The friction between the plates prevents them from sliding smoothly past each other. Instead, they lock together, building up stress over time. This process continues for centuries, the pressure mounting until it exceeds the strength of the rocks holding the plates together. When this critical threshold is reached, the plates slip, releasing the pent-up energy in a sudden, violent lurch. This is the moment the sleeping giant awakens, unleashing an earthquake of unimaginable magnitude. The consequences of such an event are difficult to comprehend. The ground beneath our feet, seemingly solid and unchanging, would heave and shake with unrelenting force, lasting for minutes rather than seconds. Buildings, bridges, and infrastructure would crumble, unable to withstand the relentless seismic waves. Coastal communities would face the brunt of the impact, as tsunamis generated by the earthquake's energy surge inward, inundating low-lying areas and reshaping the coastline. The human toll of such a disaster would be catastrophic. Lives would be lost, families torn apart, and communities devastated. The economic impact would be equally staggering, with billions of dollars in damage to infrastructure, businesses, and homes. The Cascadia Subduction Zone's potential for destruction is a stark reminder of the importance of preparedness and the need to respect the awesome power of the natural world.